Hi, Tim Unkert here. In this video, I'm going to install Neovim on a Chromebook as an app image and also install and set up Alacritty. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set up the Linux development environment. So I'm going to go over here to this launcher here, scroll on down, go to settings, and scroll on down to about ChromeOS, to Linux development environment, and I'm going to click setup. A wizard's going to pop up. I'll click next. It'll let you set a username and a disk size. I believe the username is based off your email. If you want to change that now. The disk size can be changed later. If you do set it up, and you probably change the username. I just haven't done it. I usually set up a Linux development environment and then just squash it and set up another one. But anyways, so I'm going to click install with the defaults that it gives me. This is going to take a few moments to go ahead and install, and I'll come on back once that's done. Okay, once Linux is installed, the terminal will pop up. I'm going to close out the settings here and just expand the terminal, and also right click it and pin it to my taskbar here so I can access it easier. And I'll make the font a little bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. So first thing, I want to make sure everything's up to date by typing sudo apt get update and then 2 ampersand sudo apt get dist -upgrade and do a -y flag for any additional storage. Okay, at least that's what I think it does. I'm going to let that run through, and I'll come on back once that's done. Okay, so everything's gone ahead and updated. I'm going to clear this out, and then I'm going to make a bin directory in the .local directory. I'm going to do that by typing mkdir, do a -p .local/bin, hit enter. Okay, so that should be good. Let's minimize the terminal here and open up the browser and search for Neovim. And we'll go to neovim.io, and on this web page we'll click install now. That'll bring us to the GitHub here, and we can go to latest stable release. Let's click on that, and that's at the time of this recording 0.10.2. So if I scroll on down, I can find the nvim.app image. I want that, so I'm going to click on that. Oh, this jumped on me for some reason. Let's try that again. We'll click on that. Okay, I'm going to go to the latest releases. There's something funky going on with that. If I scroll on down to 10.2, I'll click on that. And if I go on down here, I'm going to go to nvim.app image, click on that, and that's going to download. It was redirecting me on the latest release page. That was weird. So I'll click show in folder here, and then I'll do Control X to cut it, go to my Linux files, and actually let's show the hidden files here, and we'll go to .local bin and we'll paste it into there. And there we go, it's pasted in. All right, so we want to make this executable, so I'm going to do cd.local/bin, and then if I list out the storage, we see we have the nvim app image. I'm going to type sudo chmod +x and then do nvim.appimage, hit enter. So that's good. I'm going to cd back to the home directory, and let's run this with .local bin/nvim.appimage, and it gives me an error. It says error loading libfuse .so.2. So I'm going to type sudo apt get install libfuse2 and hit enter, and that's going to install what I need. I'll hit the up arrow to go back to .local/bin/nvim.appimage, and we'll hit enter. Okay, so I want to do :ex to explore, and I want to go to my bash RC here and go Control G to get all the way down to the bottom, and then do O to insert a new line. And we want the alias here, so I'm going to go and search for Timothy Unkert GitHub, hit enter. And by the way, on my GitHub repository here, or my bunch of repositories, I have this do nows. This is a bunch of math worksheets. I'm going to show you this near the end of the video if you're a math teacher checking this out. It's pretty cool. But I'm going to click on this one, the VimRC 2024, and go check my bash RC because I just want to check my alias here. So you see we have alias nvim equals this, but I'm going to copy it and modify it slightly. So I'll do Control C to copy and then Control Shift V to paste it in. And where I want to modify it, I've got to do the .local /bin/nvim.appimage. I will do a colon, write and quit, get out of there. Control D to close this, and I will not close this, but I'm going to right click and click Shutdown Linux. Then I'll click on the penguin here to restart Linux. And this may take a little bit longer because I'm recording, but it should be quicker for you. Okay, so now if I type in nvim, there we go. We go right into Neovim. So we've got it aliased correctly. That's pretty cool. So I want to increase my font here just so you can see what I'm doing, because I'm going to install Alacritty now. So I'm going to type sudo apt get install Alacritty, like so. Hit enter and let that run through. And there we go. It's installed. I've previously pinned this to my taskbar, so it just kind of appeared there. But if you didn't see it, you go here to your Linux apps, or you check around here. Sometimes it gets a little funky and it doesn't end up right in the Linux apps. But you see you have Alacritty here. Now I can right click. It gives me the option to unpin it from the shelf, but if I hadn't had it pinned, it would give me the option to pin. Anyways, I'm going to use it quite a bit, so I'm going to pin it to the shelf. So let's open up Alacritty. And here we go. Here's Alacritty. Now let's customize it a bit. So I'm going to do, well, first off, I'm going to cd into .config, and I'm going to list out the storage. And we see we don't have, like in a directory for Alacritty, so I'm going to do mkdir Alacritty. So let me make this a little larger, but you can see here I just made a directory Alacritty. If I list out the storage, you see now we have this folder Alacritty. Okay, so I can cd into Alacritty, and then I can do nvim alacritty.yml. Now, in the Chromebook at the time of this recording, it's Debian 12, and the version of Alacritty that they install from the repositories uses the YAML file. I think it's a TOML file now, so it may change by the time you watch this video. But anyway, so I'm going to open that up, and let's start changing some stuff around. So I'm going to go here to my vimrc repository and click on my alacritty.yaml. It's not super large here. If I want to copy the raw file, I can do that. I think I can just paste it in. Yeah, there we go. So I can paste it in there, and let me go through some of these things. So the environment, the term, the xterm -256 color will give it a little different color. The window, the dimensions, the columns at 100, lines at 30. If I give some padding there so it's not like crammed right up against this, change the opacity to 0.8 so you can see through it a little bit, and then set the font family here. So I have normal, source code pro, styles regular, bold, source code pro, and the italic family source code pro. It's size 13. Now I'm going to write and quit, but we don't have source code pro installed, so we got to go do that. So I'm going to write and quit and do that, and then Control D to close it. And let's go up here and search for source code pro font, and see it's from Google Fonts here. Let me dismiss this. Got it. I'm going to click Get Font and download the font. Okay. So now it's going to say Show in Folder. I'm going to click Show in Folder, right click, and extract all. And I'm going to go to my static, click the first one, scroll on down, and do Shift and click the second one to highlight everything. Right click, copy, go to my Linux files, go to Show Hidden Files. I'm going to go to .local, share, and make a directory called, a new folder called Fonts. Okay, and I'm going to go in here and do Control V to paste in all those fonts. Okay, so now if I open up Alacritty, there we go. We've got the source code pro font with a slight opacity to it. Last thing I want to do is just go through a basic nvim setup. So let's go here to my vimrc 2024, look for my init.lua here, and I'm just putting in some vim commands so far. As I continue this, I may change it up a bit, but setting the color scheme at retro box and syntax on, and then some tab stops and auto indent and so on, and then this high normal GUI background equals none, CTR MBG equals none. That's going to allow it to be transparent in Vim. So I'm going to copy this file, okay, and then what I'm going to do, let me increase my font size here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to cd into .config, okay, and then list out the storage here. I want to make a directory called nvim. I'll cd into nvim, and then with nvim I'll create a file called init.lua, and I'll do Control-Shift-V to paste in the contents here, and I want to just do Shift and move this over, and I think I want to, there, okay. Now I'm going to write and quit and clear everything out. Now if I do cd back to the home directory and do nvim, and let's actually quit here. Let's do nvim test.html, and I'll insert, create a doc type HTML, and we'll do some tags, and you see that I have that color scheme retro box, and that's indenting 2 spaces. So I can create my document here. It's doing some smart indent and so forth, and there, let's close out the HTML tag and so on, and we can work on our file. It's got that transparency in the background and so on. If I do Control-0, that gives me back to the regular font size I use, but for YouTube, let's make it bigger. I'm doing Control+. Cool. All right, anyways, I'm going to escape and quit out of here without saving, so I'm going to do :Q exclamation. Okay, one more thing I wanted to show you was the GitHub repository. So let's go to Timothy Unkert GitHub. I'll leave a link to this in the description. And if I go here and going down to my tunkert/do now, so it's github.com/tunkert/do-nows, and we have all these problems here. So what are these? Well, these are for teachers. So I can go here and go to my SAT do nows, and let's click on one of them. So let's do the do now mean median 1.html. So I'll click on this. I'll download the raw file here, and then I'll go to the browser here and do Control-O to open a file. Look to my downloads, get that file that I downloaded, and you see I have all these problems here. And when I do Control-P to print, it formats them per page along with the answer here, and you can maybe exclude that. If you want all the pages, you could do custom and just do pages 1 and 2. But the cool thing is, if I do Control-R, you'll notice the numbers change and whether I'm looking for the mean and median change. So all these do nows I'm putting up are like this. They have changes in them. How am I doing that? Well, I'm doing that with the JavaScript in the bottom of the file here. So you see I'm writing a bunch of JavaScript to change all this stuff for each of these files. At the time it's recording, I probably getting close to 10,000 lines of code. AI doesn't know how to do this. Just something I came up with my head, or out of my head, to help out the school. But if you're a developer and you like this, or you're on GitHub, please give it a star so it can get out to more people. If you're a teacher, you can just go to the link in the description and get a free worksheet that you can use with your students. You even see I have these infinite quizzes. So for instance, I'm giving a quiz tomorrow. But this video is going out after tomorrow. So if I want this quadratic formula 1 quiz.html, I can click on this, download it, go to a browser here, do Control-O to open a file, look for the quadratic formula 1 quiz, and you see it's formatted. And if I do Control-R, it changes the quadratics that we're trying to solve. I've got a little bit of an error there that I got to work out some bugs and so on. And if I do Control-P to print, it's formatted nicely. If you want to really nicely format it without the date up here and everything, you can just go here and uncheck in the advanced section headers and footers, and that prints out really nicely, one side on each page. Anyways, so if you like that, give it a star on GitHub. And like and share this video with other like-minded people and other teachers. It helps get out the word. Hopefully you found this video interesting. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.